Hello, friends. I'm gonna say it again because for whatever reason it never registers. Hello, friends. In my last live, I was talking how actions speak louder than words. And sometimes people like me who have good hearts and always focus on the best in people allow some things in other people to go unnoticed. But at one point, the truth always comes to the surface. And even if I always tend to find excuses for other people, at one point it's like, okay, I can't ignore this anymore. The discrepancy between their words and their actions. So, what happened, if you haven't listened to it live, is recently I had to deal with three people that were kind of close to me who the common theme was spirituality that we shared, and they would talk about all of these things, we would talk about all of these things. The difference being, when I talk about things, I always speak from experience, and apparently other people don't. And when I speak about things, I always speak about things that if I believe in them, I want to and try to and actually do practice them. But apparently other people don't, not everybody. So what these people, what happened is, the brighter my light was shining, the more it exposed their shadows and their darkness. And because they did not want to deal with that, they projected it onto me in very unpleasant ways. And because I'm very sensitive to energy, I picked up all of the jealousy, resentment, envy sent my way. And naturally, I've went through a lot of emotions, through grief and pain, like first pain, then anger and grief, like, wow, I thought these people were friends, right? And then anger again, like, how can they be like that when all I've done has been to encourage them to pursue their artistic uh, endeavors and be kind to them? And it's like, it doesn't make any sense. Well, the whole time they were actually trying to tear me down and were jealous and envious of my creativity and the way I live my life and my joy for all of things and being happy. So I was like, how can this be possible when all I've tried is to share how they can make their lives joyful and creative and share my wisdom that I've acquired through a lot of hardship. So it was a rude awakening. But then this is the interesting part that we're going to go into higher alchemy. The thing is that on a soul level, everything is perfect, right? And a lot of these things happen when we take a decision, I want to step into more of my power and more of my light. And the universe is like, okay, here, we're going to give you an opportunity to practice. And are you really ready to do that? And here it's like a test, but not like a, we're testing you in a scholarly kind of like setting to see if you're worthy, but more like we're testing you to see if you actually want to use your power and what comes with it, right? So in this case, I was able to sit with my emotions and then inquire what is the higher perspective. So I saw how like these tools are actually challenging me to step into what I know I'm capable of. And part of the challenge is to be able to, one, leave them behind and not feel any guilt and shame for rising above, not in a above below, but still, choosing to elevate and evolve in consciousness and accepting their choice not to, because they're not willing to address their shadow and work with it, which will result in their elevation. And two, how can I use the negative emotions that they caused in me to elevate myself? Because I've spoke about that in other lives. Negative emotions have extremely potent charge, And we can transform this in the moment and basically like flip it and use that very potent energy to create something powerful and positive. So that's what I did with all of these people. And thanks to the one person, I created my project As Within, So Without, which is a series of, I want to say maybe it's right now like 200 and something self portraits, where I'm holding that letterboard, and I uploaded them here as little shorts. And the images are free on Unsplash, which basically are light codes to activate higher consciousness and life in the fifth dimension, which was art project one. And I used all of the anger and negative energy and disgust that I felt about this person to turn it into fuel for this art project. And it came like so quick, and I did it with so much passion that it was so much fun to create. So the negative emotions gave me a lot of motivation. And with the other person, which was deeper, and it happened so quick, which I'm still surprised by it. But I started another actually really big creative project that came like so quick and so fast. I pretty much channeled a whole book, which I'm going to publish very soon. And I had no intention of writing a book, but the emotions that I felt were so intense, and in the process of alchemizing them and flipping the charge, they resulted in a whole book, which has the essence of everything that I've been working on in my Avasol project about how toxic shame, guilt, and fear are actually blocking our creative energy. And when we address those emotions and understand where they come from, we can unlock our Shakti and allow it to flow freely, which results in unbound creativity, not only in terms of art, but also in terms of being creative and playful with your life and designing it as you wish, and feeling intensely alive in your experience, which naturally comes from feeling all of our emotions. So, with this, again, I want to say is like feel your emotions because they're very important and they guide you. And then, when you know about alchemy, when you are in the depth and like really feeling the intensity of a negative feeling, you can flip the charge and use it to propel you further on your elevation, which would leave the people that caused those negative feelings in you behind. But this is their own karma that they have created. And it's going to be good for them too, because they can also learn higher alchemy. They can also learn how to sit with their feelings. And it's not going to hurt them if they learn to get past their pride and apologize and own it that they've made a mistake. And that's how they're going to gain emotional intelligence, which without emotional intelligence and without opening the heart, there's no way that you can perform higher alchemy or elevate on your spiritual path. So, and all in all, I'm very excited about all of the new powers that unlocked within me. And as always, through difficulties, we go to the stars for Aspera ad Astra. And I hope this is useful for you too. And definitely feel your feelings and give them proper expression. And when we project our feelings onto others, we don't gain anything. But when we sit with our shadow, that's when we gain enlightenment and elevation and self awareness, which self awareness is the most important thing, truly. And when we're self aware, we can also witness the shadows in others, but don't take their projections, and have compassion for them that they lack the awareness and the inner strength to work with their own shadow and elevate in consciousness. And because of that, they're stuck repeating karmic loops. But the good thing is that every soul is on its own journey, and when we leave certain people behind that we have outgrown who are unwilling to do the work and elevate further, we immediately reconnect with and connect with other souls who are on that new frequency that we have elevated to. So there's just a little bit of a vacuum while we're still processing and letting go of the old fully and entering the new. But as soon as we do, we immediately connect with other souls that are on that vibration, and we continue to work with them. And it's really beautiful the way everything is designed, honestly. And the interesting thing is that the whole time I was channeling the information and I actually warned those people about what was going to happen, and gave them a lot of opportunity to become conscious and aware and to course correct, but they chose not to, which again I need to honor. But it was also very cool how I was able to I have this precognition and to give them resources, information, hints, so they could make a higher choice. And the fact that they did not, again, it's on them. Uh, but I still feel like really beautiful that I was able to see it and be prepared for it, and still my human side could feel everything, and then alchemize it, and then accept that yeah, I am gonna grieve the lack of those people in my life, but they were never really the kind of people I want to keep because they were not living in integrity. So they're on their own journey, and I'm continuing on my own journey with more people who are in alignment and who are a lot more self aware and emotionally intelligent. So, yay for that. I hope this has been useful for you. Hi to everybody. And uh, yeah, life is so fascinating. It's so, so exciting. Earth School is so much fun.